Welcome back to another video over here on Tyrell Frye. I'm Tyrell Frye, in case you don't know. And in today's video, man, I kind of want to share a story time with you all that kind of changed my life, and I believe it's going to help a lot of you out there. Even if you're not a subscriber of mine and you just come across this video, if this video found you for whatever reason, maybe you just needed to hear this. So stick around, listen to this story time, and I think it'd be very beneficial to a lot of you. Just to let you guys know, there's going to be two parts to this video. This is going to be part one. Part one is going to be kind of like the backstory of how I got into basketball. A lot of important information leading up to part two. If you skip to part two, you're going to miss a lot of vital information, right? I try to make this as short as possible, but also have to give you all the facts and all the details, okay? Part two is when the fight is actually going to start, and, you know, the consequences after the fight, you know what I mean? So watch part one first so you can get all that information, and then watch part two. I just want to kind of give you guys this story so you guys can learn a little bit more about me. And I know I also have a lot of former students out there that I've shared this story with, and they love the story and they want to hear it again, or they told their friends about it and they wanted me to tell their friends. So I decided to just make this video, especially for my students. You know, I also teach, for some of y'all that don't know. I would love to make this video for my students, just because they're at that age where they can easily be influenced, and you know, things can happen in life that you have control over and sometimes you don't have control over. So I've been playing basketball my whole life. Ever since I was 6 years old, I've been playing basketball. I loved it. Recreational, Boys and Girls Club, you know what I mean? Manassas Park Biddy Ball. Like, I played basketball, you know, my whole life. And, you know, when I was younger, I grew up in, you know, poverty. So I played against a lot of adults and like older kids. So anytime I play against any adult or, you know, older person, like, they'll always just be like, we know what you're going to do when you get older. Like, you're really good at basketball. You know what I mean? And I took it as a compliment. You know, when I was 8 years old, I was getting like 40, 45-point games. My dad got a lot of the footage too from those times. But I played basketball and I loved it. I enjoyed it. You know, it kind of was a stress reliever for me. But when I got to middle school, I went to Marsteller Middle School. I didn't make the team my sixth grade year, and it tore me apart because all my friends made it. You know, I didn't make it. You know, and I felt like I was good enough to make it. And then, you know, seventh grade year, I didn't try out, but I still was playing recreational. You know, I like to be honest, I was really out of shape my middle school. Like, when I was in middle school, I gained a lot of weight. I was like one of those chubby kids that can still hoop, you know what I mean? But I wasn't in shape. So I think that's like partially why I didn't make it. But then also at my middle school, they had a lot of favorites, you know, like they played favoritism a lot at my middle school. And because, you know, I lived in a different city, the middle school that I went to was in a different city. And the elementary school, like, literally was like a pipeline to the middle school. So a lot of the kids that was on the team went to the elementary school that was nearby my middle school. So I didn't make it my sixth grade year, didn't make it my eighth grade year, and it tore me. It tore me up, bro. Like, I was so hurt because I felt like you know, I needed. I felt like I was good enough to make it. You know what I mean? Fast forward to high school, freshman football. I was pretty decent at it. I started defensive end on our freshman team. We went like 10-0 or something, like 11-0, something like that. I was pretty decent at defensive end. You know, the coaches thought I was, you know, really good. And then later on, I tried out for the freshman basketball team. So the freshman high school basketball coach, his name was Coach JB. He was a referee at the Boys and Girls Club. So he saw me play, and I was like, okay, bet. So we trying out, and I'm like, man, he knows I can hoop. You know what I mean? I just gotta go out there and do my thing because he refs my games at the Boys and Girls Club. And I didn't make it my freshman year either. So, like, I'm just like, bro, what is going on? You know what I mean? I didn't make it my sixth grade year, my eighth grade year. My ninth grade year, I didn't make it, bro. Like, I was, and like, truthfully, like, I was skilled enough to make it. I know, like, in middle school, I was out of shape for sure. Freshman year, I thought I had it. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. So all my friends make the team. My name wasn't on the list. I went to grind mode that summer. That following year in the summer, I went on a strict diet. I was running like 5 miles a day. I was playing basketball all day, nonstop. I probably dropped like 25, 30 pounds that summer, going into my sophomore year. And we had tryouts, and I dominated tryouts. Like, it was bad. Like, it was for JV, so, like, I was just dominating. I mean, like, getting rebounds, getting buckets, you know what I'm saying, blocking people's shots. I'm like first in sprints. I'm clearly the leader in my mind, you know what I'm saying, at that tryout. And you can tell that I was in the best shape that out of everyone that was there. This summer, all I was doing was running, bro. Like I was like, I'm gonna make the team, bro. Like I was so dedicated, and it pushed me to another level where I thought I never thought I could reach. So fast forward to the end of tryouts, I'm still nervous. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make the team. Like I thought I was good enough last year, so I'm starting doubting myself. And but in my heart, I was like, man, I definitely have to make the team, bro. Like I clearly was the best one here. Not even trying to sound cocky or anything. I just felt like I did the best out of everyone that was there. So Coach JB pulls me to the side. Last day of tryouts, he had everyone lined up, and he would call them over one by one, and he would just talk to them. And, I don't know what he said to other people, but it was my turn for him to talk to me. And he was like, I've been seeing you play basketball for a long time. At the Boys and Girls Club. I know you can play, but the reason why I didn't put you on the team last year is because I felt like you wasn't mature enough yet. Like I felt like you always complained about foul calls, and you complained about the little stuff. And I was like, okay, all right. Like at least he acknowledged that I was skillful, but that's something I need to work on if that's the case. But he told me, he was like, I can see that you put in a lot of work. You're gonna be the workhorse for our team. Like, and to me, I was like, damn, like he just gave me confirmation I'm about to be on the team. You know what I mean? So I was super excited. And my sophomore year, junior varsity, was one of the best experiences of my life, man. I was getting buckets on JV. Like I did so good on JV that towards the end of the year, they moved me and my friend Manny up to varsity on my sophomore year. So, that alone made me feel so good, because I was like, man, look, I remember the first game that I was supposed to play for varsity was against Osborne Park. Me and my boy Manny didn't play, but we was just apart, doing warm-ups. We sat on the bench the whole time, but just being in that, environment of varsity, it just made me feel good, and it kind of showed me that I worked hard for it, So JV year, I was getting buckets, got moved up to varsity, cool, Going into my junior year, I think it was going into my junior year, me and my boy Keontae played on the same AAU team. Got buckets there. That's when I really like opened up and started, just hooping. And I remember Keontae was just like, man, I ain't never see you play like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting, hitting threes in a game, crossing people. It's just crazy, bro. Like I just kind of got out of my shell, and I always had it in me. I just never had like the opportunity to showcase it. And AAU kind of allowed me. Actually, yeah, I was 17 because AAU allowed me to showcase my talent. But then it's also, like I said, if you didn't have a personal trainer, or if you wasn't in AAU at a young age, like your development can slow down like crazy. So because I didn't have that the money to play AAU at a young age, it kind of like hindered my growth, because I didn't get that, the same treatment as far as like training and stuff go as some of my peers. Fast forward, junior year, end up, playing a little bit more on varsity. Then my senior year comes around. All right. And this is really where the story starts. All this other stuff I just gave you, just kind of backstory on like, my, I guess like a lot of it is just what led up to the story. You know what I mean? What led up to this point. A lot of that stuff is important information. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to understand why I made a decision that I made. My senior year comes around, and mind you, my freshman year, I played football. I was dominant. I didn't play my sophomore year, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to focus on basketball. Junior year, I was like, I want to focus on basketball. My senior year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back out there and play football for my senior year just because, you know what I'm saying? It's my senior year. Why not? So I'm going to the workouts in the summer. I'm getting, I'm out there getting these workouts in with the football players. The coaches are seeing me. They're like, oh, you could probably play linebacker, or you can play defensive end again. Maybe even try you out for tight end, because my acceleration and just my footwork was really good for my size. I really contribute a lot of that to basketball. But they were like, yo, like I had some of the coaches tell me like, if you really take this serious, you can probably go to school for football. Like we saw what you did your freshman year, but now you actually grown into your frame, like, just a little bit of work, and we can do that. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like I love football. Like I enjoy playing the games. I hated the practices for football. You know what I mean? Like basketball, I love every aspect of it. Anyways, the basketball coach, the head coach, had saw me one summer out there working out with the football team. All right. And this was right before school was about to start. We having workouts, like summer workouts. So when school starts up, I get an invitation, or like a pass to go see my head coach for basketball. A lot of y'all that were my teammates during that time, you probably don't even know this. You know what I'm saying? But Coach Lawrence, he sent me a pass to his office. And we had like maybe 3 or 4 seniors, I think, left the year before. I think it might have been 2, actually, Marquise and KJ. I think that was it, unless there was a few other ones. I can't really remember. But I know, like, I got the pass, went to his office, sat down, and he was like, hey, like, what's your plans for next year, for basketball? And I was like, I want to play. Like, he's like, well, I see you out there with the football guys. Like, you need to be coming to the basketball workouts. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, I can try to come to the basketball ones. Like, what days are they? And it's conflicting because they're at the same time. So he was like, well, that 4 spot is opening up, and if you want to start, you need to be at the basketball practice or the basketball workouts, right? And that's what got me. He was like, that 4 spot is opening up, and if you want to start, you need to be at the basketball workouts so you can have that starting role. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, like this is all I ever worked for. I didn't make the team, 6th grade year, 8th grade year, 9th grade year. I did really good last year, my sophomore year. Junior year, I did what I had to do. I had people in front of me, obviously. And then senior year, I'm like, yo, this is my chance to shine, bro. Like, this is my chance to, all this work that I put in. Like, I'm feeling like it's a Jordan moment or something. You feel me? Like, I'm like, yo, this is about to be it. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I stopped going to football workouts and I started going to basketball ones. And I was like, yo, I mean, I'm trying to get this starting spot, so I got to be here. Putting in the work, man, putting in the work. Season starts off. I get hurt in practice and I sprained my ankle. I was out for like 2 weeks. I told coach, hey, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. I'm back in practice. I'm doing everything. And like by the 3rd game, like I wasn't even playing, bro. I was like, son, what is going on? Like, does he know that like I'm better? Like I'm sitting there talking to the other coaches, like, I'm good, right? And finally I get in one game and I do what I do. Off the bench, getting some points, getting some, rebounds, assists, whatever. I'm doing everything right in practice. I'm so confused on why I'm not playing more. I'm playing decent, but I'm not playing as much as I wanted, as much as I want to, as much as I thought I was going to play. But, like, I'm pissed at this time because I feel like the people in front of me, like, numbers-wise, no offense to my boy Keontae, you know what I'm saying? But numbers-wise, I was averaging more points and more rebounds than him. But he was, like, way taller than me. Keontae was, like, 6'4", you know what I mean? And I was, like, 6 foot, 6'1", and we both played the same position because we had a small team. I had another assistant coach who played, overseas, and he played, G League. And he pulled me to the side one day and said the same thing. He actually said it in practice one time in front of the coaches, in front of, the players, because he was kind of like a coach too. He's like a player coach, but he wasn't like on the main coaching staff, if that makes sense. Keontae's my guy. So Keontae, we played on our JV team together. Then we played AAU together, and then we was on a team together our senior year. Before home games, me and Keontae sometimes, most of the time, we'll go to the weight room and just go work out before the game. And we'll always do that. You know what I'm saying? We'll go like bench press, do some curls, just you know what I mean? Just get a quick pump before the game. And one time, that coach that I was telling you about, his name is Tick, he followed us to the weight room. And we didn't know. We were just going to the weight room. And we're in there working out. And I'm on a bench press, and I'm bench pressing, and I look at the window, and I see him there. And he look at us, and he's like, and then he walks back. Didn't say anything, right? Because we had a game that day. He didn't say anything. But the next practice, we had a practice, like, I think it was like that Saturday. And what he said in front of everyone was like, one of the hardest things to do in basketball, and mind you, he's professional. He said one of the hardest things to do in basketball is to sit and sit and sit. And when a coach calls your number, you perform consistently. You don't get scared and make turnovers. You're always ready. You rise to the occasion. And he was like, Tyrell, that's what you've been doing. And then he started asking the star players. He was like, why haven't y'all been, do y'all work out before the games? And some of the star players were like, no, like it's going to throw off my shot. Like it's going to mess my shot up. He's like, did you know Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen used to work out before and after every game? You talking about throwing off your shot? Tyrell and Keontae have been going to the weight room every home game, and, look what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're doing it, he's like, Tyrell's not even a starter and he's going. And it wasn't something that we were trying to do to get bragging rights. Like we literally just wanted to go work out before the games. You know what I mean? Like, but ever since then, he said that in front of the coaches and the team, and the coaches started looking at me a little bit differently because he said that. And I noticed it. All right. So then I believe it was like the game after. It was a few games after we played against Osborne. I'm like, bro, like why? Like I was not playing this game. Like I don't know what was going on, bro. I was like, bro, they're not playing me, dog. They're not playing me. So I was low key pissed, bro. I'm like, son, like my senior year isn't going how I wanted it to go. And I'm so mad, bro. Like I'm just trying to go off at this point. I get in the game, I get a steal in a fast break, and I dunk it. First in-game dunk ever. You know what I'm saying? And the rim is rattling. I'm talking about I dunk it, everybody get hyped, bro. And ever since that day, I dunked it, the coach, he started me a few times. So that same coach Tick, after that game where I did good, and then I think I started and did good against Garfield, he put me on the phone with a JUCO coach, right? If you guys don't know what a JUCO is, it's a junior college. You basically go there for a few years so they can develop you, and then you go to, Division II, Division I, or D3 if that happens. Put me on the phone with this coach, and the JUCO was in Alabama, and I was talking to the coach, had his number. I was planning a visit to go there once the season was over. And everything was like good, bro. Like he's just like, yeah, just keep getting film, send me the film, and, we can go from there. If Tick is calling me, then I know that, you're a player that I probably will want on my team. So, I had that going for me, and I was excited. I'm like, bro, I'm about to go play college basketball. You know what I mean? And mind you, like, I ain't know nothing about scholarships probably until like my senior year of high school, like sports scholarships. Like I didn't know how they work or anything. Cause mind you, my mom didn't graduate high school. My dad finished high school, but like I didn't have anyone in my family that went to college. And I grew up in an environment where nobody was really talking about like sports scholarships. Like they knew you will hear the word scholarship, but you don't really know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know what it was. So it's my senior year district championship night. This is where the fight happens. Thank you guys for watching part 1. Remember, there is 2 parts to this. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Give me your thoughts so far on part 1. Part 2 is coming out right after this. So make sure you have those notification bells on. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments, man. Give me some feedback on the story time so far. Okay, I just wanted to break it up so it's not super long. It would have been like 40 minutes if I posted the whole thing. So to help you guys out, to help me out, I just split it into 2 parts. First part is, the backstory. Second part is, the fight and then the consequences and kind of where we are now in life. So thank you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. I will see y'all at part 2. One love.